Hi, my name's Camber, and I'll be presenting on Aristotle. Aristotle was a bit challenging to research and condense into a handout and a presentation. The amount of information on his influences regarding education, politics, and on philosophy is overwhelming. Aristotle was born in 384 and lived until 322 BC. He is remembered as Plato's student, but he should also be remembered and regarded in his own right as a teacher and as a philosopher. Aristotle moved away from Plato's teachings on idealism and moved towards realism. He believed that we can know reality through our senses, and that reality can be known through our senses as we look at material things of matter. Aristotle believed that all humans have an innate desire to know, and it's from here we can take a jumping point to look at his impacts on education. Aristotle contributed to public education. He argued that education itself must be regulated and controlled by the state. He believed that in order to create a stronger government and a stronger state, that we must educate our people because that's how they will become loyal, virtuous, honest, and knowledgeable. Aristotle believed it wasn't just the responsibility of the state, but it was only the responsibility of the state to educate the citizens and the students. And it's here I'd like to add my own criticism. Although we're thankful for Aristotle for bringing us public education, we also are thankful that his ideas have evolved quite a bit because now we have the opportunity to homeschool if we'd like or attend private institutions if we'd like. And although public education is of great value, it's nice to have the liberties to homeschool or attend private schools. And this idea on public education is significant because we still have ideas regarding strengthening our state through the future generations. We always say the future is in the children's hands. Moving on, I'd like to talk about Aristotle's impact on liberal arts. Aristotle believed that in education, we must have a well-rounded program, and he stressed ideas such as science, math, on reading, writing, on music, and on physical education in the studies. And today, liberal arts still emphasizes well-rounded studies like this. Liberal arts education still focus on the arts such as music, theater, or dance. And I myself attended a liberal arts school, and part of my core curriculum was taking a philosophy, a physical education, and an arts class. But liberal arts, according to Aristotle, wasn't about just the curricular focus. It was also about learning for the sake of learning. He believed that the process of attaining knowledge is just what humans should do. And liberal arts education still believes that knowledge and the attainment of knowledge is what's important. It's not about an end goal, but it's the process itself. And these ideas we can attribute or contribute to Aristotle are still valued today. Another point I'd like to make is his impact on scientific studies. Aristotle was the father of scientific studies. It's well known that he liked to observe nature, and he believed that we can know reality as we study nature, and he believed the world is knowable, and that we learn to know the world through our senses and through our observations. Aristotle was the first of his type to classify animals and organisms. He created a sort of hierarchy on a ladder, and at the bottom of this ladder were lifeless beings, and at the top were humans. In between, he classified plants and animals. And in this classification system, we see how it's evolved into even things such as the Great Chain of Being, which was founded in the Middle Ages, and this was rooted in Aristotle's ideas. Aristotle also believed that everything points to an unmoved mover. He says all of nature can point to an unmoved mover. And it's from here we also see ideas such as the Big Bang Theory or the atomic theory take off. Here I'd like to also present a criticism by Archibald. Archibald believed that Aristotle's ideas on science gave no room for ideas on evolution. He argued that Aristotle's ideas were circular regarding life, and instead, life reflects a beginning and an end point. I'd also like to move on to a criticism by Stables. Stables' criticism is an overarching criticism. It believes that although Aristotle's ideas are significant and we are influenced by them even every day, that a lot of his ideas are also outdated and we should approach his ideas carefully. Archibald argues that in order to have a child-centered education, we must disregard Aristotle's ideas that children are less than or less human than adults. Aristotle's whole hierarchy of beings also put children lower than adults and believed that children weren't quietly full-grown humans. But Stables argues that this is not an appropriate interpretation and that we must be child-centered, and in order to educate our next society well, we must realize that children are more like adults and full human beings, which overarches Aristotle's ideas of hierarchy. Thank you.